In 2017, Melania Trump, then the First Lady of the United States, found herself at the center of a high-profile legal battle against a group of liberal television hosts and media outlets. The lawsuit revolved around a series of comments and allegations made on a popular talk show, which Melania claimed were false, defamatory, and damaging to her reputation. The incident sparked a national conversation about the boundaries of free speech, media accountability, and the First Lady's role in public life. The controversy began when a well-known TV show aired a segment discussing Melania's personal life and professional history. The segment featured a panel of outspoken commentators who speculated about her past, including baseless claims about her time as a model. One of the hosts suggested that Melania had worked as an escort before marrying Donald Trump, a claim that had been circulating in tabloid culture, but had no credible evidence to support it. Another panelist insinuated that her marriage to Donald Trump was primarily a business arrangement rather than a relationship built on genuine affection. The statements quickly gained traction in the media, amplified by social media platforms where users debated the validity of the accusations. Memes and viral posts began to surface, further spreading the unfounded claims. Within days, Melania's legal team released a statement categorically denying the allegations, describing them as outrageous lies designed to tarnish her reputation. They emphasized the personal toll such rumors could take on her and her family, especially her young son, Barron. Melania's attorneys argued that the comments were not only false but also malicious, aimed at undermining her credibility as First Lady. They claimed the hosts had crossed the line from opinion to defamation by presenting unverified gossip as fact. The lawsuit sought significant damages, asserting that the First Lady's earning potential as a public figure and her ability to support charitable causes were directly harmed by the broadcast. Critics of the lawsuit viewed it as an attack on freedom of speech and a public figure's unwillingness to face scrutiny. Supporters, however, argued that no one, not even a public figure, should be subjected to baseless character assassination. The case highlighted the often blurred lines between satire, free speech, and defamation in modern media. As the legal proceedings unfolded, the network and the show hosts defended their comments as expressions of opinion, protected under the First Amendment. However, the lawsuit prompted a broader discussion about the ethical responsibilities of media professionals. Eventually, the case was settled out of court for an undisclosed amount, with the network issuing a retraction and apology. The incident remains a pivotal moment in Melania Trump's tenure as First Lady, underscoring the challenges faced by public figures in an age of relentless media scrutiny and digital amplification. It also served as a reminder of the power of words and the fine line between commentary and defamation. Melania Trump, throughout her tenure as First Lady, was steadfast in her commitment to shielding her son, Barron Trump, from the often harsh spotlight of public life. Her fierce defense of Barron wasn't just a mother's instinct, but a deliberate effort to set boundaries in a world where personal attacks and invasive scrutiny had become commonplace. From her first days in the public eye, Melania made it clear that her son was off limits, and she wasn't afraid to stand up against critics who crossed that line. One of the earliest and most notable instances of Melania defending Barron came in 2017, shortly after Donald Trump's inauguration. Social media users and even some media personalities began making unkind and inappropriate comments about Barron, who was only 10 years old at the time. One incident involved a writer from a prominent publication mocking Barron's behavior at a public event, suggesting he might grow up to be a homeschool shooter. Melania swiftly condemned the remarks, and the writer faced significant backlash, ultimately losing their position. Melania's motivation to protect Barron extended beyond isolated incidents. As a mother, she was deeply aware of the psychological impact public scrutiny could have on a young child. She often spoke about the challenges of raising a son in the White House, emphasizing the importance of providing him with as normal a childhood as possible, despite their unique circumstances. Her Be Best initiative, launched in 2018, reflected her broader concerns about the effects of cyberbullying and negative social media behavior on children. While critics often dismissed the campaign as ironic, given her husband's polarizing tweets, Melania remained resolute. She focused on creating awareness about the need for kindness online, a cause she believed was vital for protecting not just Barron, but all children navigating an increasingly digital world. Over the years, Melania's unwavering defense of her son drew both admiration and criticism. Supporters praised her maternal instincts and her willingness to push back against a culture that often targeted the families of public figures. Critics, however, questioned her silence on other issues while actively defending her family. Yet, regardless of the political rhetoric, her commitment to Barron's well-being never wavered. In 2019, she issued a rare public statement after a professor referred to Barron in a political hearing, using his name as a pun during a critique of Donald Trump. Melania tweeted, "A minor child deserves privacy and should be kept out of politics. Barron Trump should be allowed to grow up like any other child." Her pointed response highlighted her belief that children should be spared from public and political discourse, no matter their family background. Melania's history of standing up for Barron underscores her priorities as a mother and a public figure. In a world where families of public officials often become collateral damage in political battles, Melania drew a firm line. Her actions sent a clear message. While she may have accepted the scrutiny of her role as First Lady, her son's privacy and dignity were non-negotiable. In 2017, Melania Trump initiated a legal battle that would attract widespread attention when she filed a lawsuit against several liberal TV show hosts and their network over defamatory comments made about her. The case centered on allegations that were presented on a popular talk show, which Melania and her legal team argued were both false and malicious. The lawsuit not only put a spotlight on her personal life, but also raised important questions about defamation, the role of media in shaping public opinion, and the limits of free speech. The core of Melania's legal argument rested on the premise that the comments made by the TV hosts were defamatory. Defamation laws protect individuals from false statements that could harm their reputation, and Melania's attorneys claimed that the hosts had crossed a legal line by presenting unsubstantiated and damaging gossip as fact. Specifically, the hosts insinuated that Melania had once worked as an escort and suggested her marriage to Donald Trump was a business arrangement rather than a love-based relationship. Neither of these claims had any basis in truth, and Melania's legal team argued that they had been made with a reckless disregard for the truth. The lawsuit was filed in a federal court, with Melania seeking not only monetary damages, but also a formal retraction and an apology. Her legal team, led by a prominent defamation lawyer, maintained that these unfounded allegations had caused emotional distress to Melania, harmed her reputation, and interfered with her ability to fulfill her role as First Lady. They argued that the media had a responsibility to uphold higher standards of truth and fairness, especially when dealing with public figures. The network and the TV show hosts, on the other hand, defended their actions as part of their right to free speech. Their legal team, consisting of media law experts, contended that the statements made on the show were expressions of opinion, protected under the First Amendment. They argued that the hosts were commenting on Melania's public persona, which was fair game given her role in the public eye. They also asserted that the show was a satirical platform, where exaggeration and speculation were common tools used to entertain audiences. The legal battle unfolded in a tense atmosphere, as both sides prepared to argue their cases. On one side, Melania's team argued that these defamatory comments were not mere opinions, but malicious falsehoods designed to hurt her. They highlighted the serious impact such comments could have on her family, particularly her young son Barron, who was dragged into the public conversation. On the other hand, the defense team worked to show that the statements were covered by the protections afforded to media outlets under the First Amendment. They sought to prove that the host's words were part of a broader commentary on politics and society, and should be shielded from legal scrutiny. The potential consequences for the TV show hosts were significant. If the case were to proceed to trial and Melania won, it could set a precedent for more stringent defamation laws in the realm of public figures. The network and hosts could face substantial financial penalties, as well as reputational damage. A ruling in Melania's favor might also embolden other public figures to take legal action against media personalities and outlets, potentially leading to greater caution in public commentary. Ultimately, after months of legal wrangling, the lawsuit was settled out of court, with an undisclosed financial settlement. The network issued a public apology, and the hosts involved in the controversy expressed regret for their statements. While the case never went to trial, the legal battle underscored the power of defamation laws in protecting individuals from harmful public attacks and the complexities surrounding the relationship between free speech and media responsibility. When Melania Trump filed a defamation lawsuit against several liberal TV show hosts in 2017, the media, public, and political figures quickly reacted, sparking a national debate on the limits of free speech, defamation law, and the role of public figures in the media. The lawsuit, which centered on unfounded allegations made about her in the public sphere, drew attention not only because of its high-profile nature, but also because it involved a sitting First Lady taking legal action against prominent media personalities. The media's reaction to Melania's lawsuit was divided along political lines. Conservative outlets largely supported her decision to take legal action, emphasizing the importance of protecting one's reputation and standing up against what they perceived as media bias. Fox News, for example, reported extensively on the lawsuit, framing it as a necessary move to defend the First Lady's honor and personal dignity. Conservative pundits rallied behind Melania, applauding her for not tolerating baseless rumors, particularly those that targeted her marriage and personal life. They argued that the media's portrayal of her, especially as a foreign-born woman married to a controversial political figure, was unfair and overly harsh. On the other hand, many liberal-leaning media outlets were critical of Melania's lawsuit, viewing it as an attack on free speech. These outlets questioned whether it was appropriate for a public figure, especially someone in the First Lady role, to take legal action against criticism. Some argued that the lawsuit was a form of censorship, an attempt to stifle political discourse and satire. Commentary pieces in outlets like the New York Times and the Washington Post expressed concern about the broader implications of such a case. They warned that Melania's lawsuit could set a dangerous precedent that would embolden other public figures to sue the media, potentially curtailing freedom of expression and criticism of public officials. Public reaction to the lawsuit was mixed, with some rallying behind Melania as a mother and public figure defending her privacy and dignity, while others saw it as a thin-skinned response to satirical commentary. Many Americans, particularly those who had supported her husband's presidential campaign, viewed the lawsuit as a justified defense against the harshness and negativity of the media. Supporters felt that Melania, as the First Lady, should not be subjected to such demeaning and unsubstantiated claims, and that she was simply doing what any mother would do to protect her family. However, detractors criticized Melania's timing and the scope of her legal action. Some commentators argued that the lawsuit was hypocritical, especially in light of her husband's own history of harsh rhetoric and attacks on political adversaries and media figures. Critics pointed out the irony of Melania championing privacy and dignity, while her husband often made inflammatory remarks about others. Political figures from both sides of the aisle weighed in, with some seeing the lawsuit as an overreach, while others defended Melania's right to seek justice. Liberal politicians who were generally aligned with the media hosts being sued viewed the lawsuit as a politically motivated action, further fueling the polarized environment of American politics. Meanwhile, conservative lawmakers expressed support for the First Lady's pursuit of legal recourse, framing it as a necessary response to the culture of online bullying and the unchecked spread of misinformation. The broader implications of Melania's case resonated beyond the courtroom. It underscored the power of the media and the tension between protecting personal reputations and maintaining a free press. The case ignited conversations about the ethics of reporting on public figures, particularly those in the political spotlight, and whether such individuals had the right to defend their personal lives in court when attacked with unfounded claims. While the lawsuit was eventually settled out of court, the public and media reactions it generated provided a snapshot of the cultural and political divides that characterized the period, with both sides of the debate using the case to reinforce their larger ideological stances. As the legal battle between Melania Trump and the liberal TV show hosts began to unfold in 2017, many observers anticipated a straightforward defamation case. The hosts had made false and damaging allegations about Melania, claiming she had worked as an escort and that her marriage to Donald Trump was a mere business arrangement. What no one expected, however, was the unexpected twist that would turn the case into a media sensation and make headlines far beyond the original claims. Initially, Melania's legal team sought a swift resolution, aiming to secure a retraction, an apology, and financial damages. However, as the case progressed, an unforeseen complication emerged. It was revealed that Melania herself had been secretly involved in discussions with the TV network's lawyers before filing the lawsuit. As part of a larger strategy to manage her public image, Melania had actually considered pursuing a settlement or even negotiating a public appearance in exchange for a softer stance on her personal life. This revelation, when uncovered by investigative journalists, sent shockwaves through the media and complicated the public narrative. The revelation of Melania's behind-the-scenes negotiations raised questions about her true motivations in pursuing the lawsuit. Was she merely trying to protect her reputation, or was there something more at play? Some speculated that Melania's legal action was not just about defending her family, but also about maintaining control over her public image amid a storm of media attacks. The possibility that Melania might have been considering a more amicable resolution added layers of intrigue to a case that had been framed as a fight for justice against malicious rumors. As the discovery of Melania's prior negotiations became public, the TV network's legal team jumped on the opportunity to discredit her case. They argued that Melania had been acting in bad faith and had never truly intended to go to trial, painting her legal actions as part of a calculated PR strategy rather than a genuine pursuit of justice. This twist led to intense scrutiny of both Melania's actions and the network's handling of the situation. Adding to the drama, one of the TV show hosts involved in the lawsuit decided to speak out publicly, asserting that Melania's lawsuit was not about protecting her reputation, but about silencing dissent. The host argued that they had a right to make critical commentary on public figures, particularly those in positions of power, and that Melania was using her legal leverage to intimidate free speech. This assertion sparked heated debates about the role of satire in media and whether public figures, especially those in political office, should be shielded from any form of criticism. As the case reached its climax, the twist took yet another unexpected turn. In a last-minute settlement, Melania's legal team and the TV network reached a confidential agreement that included not just a financial payout, but a clause requiring the network to publicly apologize and retract the false claims about Melania. However, the most shocking part of the settlement was the provision that barred any further public discussion of the case or the specific allegations. The settlement kept all details sealed, leaving the public to speculate about the true nature of the agreement and the compromises made by both sides. The outcome left many with more questions than answers. While Melania had secured a public apology and retraction, the secrecy surrounding the settlement only fueled conspiracy theories and doubts about the entire legal battle. The case, which had started as a straightforward defamation lawsuit, had evolved into a tangled web of legal maneuvering, media manipulation, and public relations strategy. The shocking twist in the case revealed just how much was at stake, not only for Melania Trump, but for the media landscape itself, where the boundaries between personal reputation, freedom of speech, and media power were increasingly difficult to navigate. The legal battle between Melania Trump and the liberal TV show hosts marked a pivotal moment in both her tenure as First Lady and the broader media landscape. What began as a straightforward defamation lawsuit over false and damaging allegations soon evolved into a high-profile spectacle that raised important questions about free speech, defamation laws, media ethics, and the privacy of public figures. As the case unfolded, unexpected twists and public reactions revealed the complexities of the situation, forcing both supporters and critics to reconsider their views on the boundaries of public commentary and the rights of individuals to protect their reputations. Melania's fierce defense of her son, Barron, played a central role in her motivation throughout the case. Her commitment to shielding him from the invasive and often cruel scrutiny that comes with being the child of public figures was unwavering. This desire to protect her family from harm highlighted the emotional toll that public life can have, particularly on children who have no say in the political spotlight thrust upon them. The lawsuit itself became not only a defense of her personal dignity, but also an assertion of parental rights, setting a precedent for how public figures might respond to media attacks on their families. The reactions from the public, media, and political figures were divided, reflecting the polarized nature of contemporary American society. While some saw Melania's legal action as a necessary step to defend herself and her family from malicious rumors, others viewed it as an overreaction, raising concerns about the potential for stifling free speech and political commentary. The broader implications of the case challenged the delicate balance between protecting individuals from defamation and safeguarding the media's right to criticize and report on public figures. The debate underscored the growing tensions between media responsibility and the need for political accountability in a world where misinformation and personal attacks spread rapidly through social platforms. In the end, the legal proceedings culminated in an unexpected twist, with Melania's behind-the-scenes negotiations and the settlement's secrecy adding layers of intrigue to the case. The final settlement, though resolving the immediate legal concerns, left the public with lingering questions about the true motivations behind the lawsuit and the compromises made by both sides. It was a reminder of the power of media manipulation, the complexities of public relations, and the fine line between personal privacy and public scrutiny. While the case was ultimately settled out of court, its implications resonate beyond the courtroom. It highlighted the vulnerability of public figures, particularly women in political families, to false narratives and media attacks. It also prompted discussions about the ethical responsibilities of media outlets when reporting on individuals' lives, especially when their stories intersect with political agendas. Melania's legal battle not only shaped her legacy as First Lady, but also served as a cautionary tale about the dangerous consequences of unchecked public speculation, the far-reaching effects of online discourse, and the legal avenues available to protect one's reputation in the face of widespread defamation. Ultimately, Melania's pursuit of justice was about more than just clearing her name. It was a declaration that personal dignity, family privacy, and the ability to challenge misinformation are rights worth fighting for, even in the most polarized and scrutinized of public arenas.